Hi everyone, it's Misty here from TheJollyFatElf. Thank you so much for joining me. Welcome to another day in my 2023 holiday card series, and we're using more stuff up. Today, it's wallpaper samples. So I don't know if I mentioned it to you guys, but my husband and I are planning to kind of like, not necessarily remodel our guest bathroom. That was the very first room we did when we moved into this house 13 years ago. So I want wallpaper, and I'll try to remember to insert a picture of what I have. But I had this leftover wallpaper, and I thought, you know what, this would be really pretty on cards, especially this one because this one's glitter. You can't see it in person. I mean, you can see it in person. You can't really see it on camera, but the mask pattern on this paper is glitter, and it's gorgeous, but it's not the one I picked. Actually, the one I picked is a different colorway of the first one. And again, I'll try to insert a picture, but it's so pretty and it goes with the vanity that we got. So hopefully at some point in our lives, we'll get that done. So I'm just cutting out basic, like card layers, bases, not necessarily bases, Misty, what are you trying to say? Like a big card layer, smaller card layer. I'm just trying to get the most out of this wallpaper that I can. And this wallpaper, the texture is a little different. It's not pasted on the back. This is like real actual, you have to add glue to it wallpaper, not the peel and stick kind. And it has a really smooth texture, but again, it has that bit of glitter and shine, and it's so pretty. So this week, all of the videos are going to be about me making card sets using the same supplies. So that's what we've got going on today. So here's a look at everything that I pulled out. And I've had that hexagon since like January last year or earlier this year, December or whatever. I'm going to use it for dang sure. So one of them didn't cut out correctly because I guess it wasn't positioned right on the platform. So I went ahead and just cut off what had cut through and what hadn't. So I'm pulling out every single purple cardstock that I own. Mine is like my really deep, dark purples, trying to find a purple that's more blue. And I don't really have any. So I ended up going with Highland Heather, I believe, from Stampin' Up. And then I believe this is Gorgeous Grape. One of them may be Boysenberry. I don't remember. But I really did go through all my purples trying to find a kind of gray blue or gray blue purple. I probably could have gone with a gray and it would have been just as pretty. But I love the way these turned out, you guys. So my thought was I wanted to use this stamp set, and I just wanted to add sentiments. I didn't want to add any images. I wanted the wallpaper to really be the star of the show. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp 4, I believe, of these sentiments. I do the Merry Christmas, I do Season's Greetings, Holiday Wishes, and then Noel. So we're going to be heat embossing. So I just have these scrap pieces of Highland Heather. I'm going to bring in an anti-static tool. It's basically just has powder in it and removes the static. And then I'm going to place my stamps where I want them so I can stamp them correctly. Now, this is a Stamparatus from Stampin' Up. It's my favorite stamp positioner. But Stampin' Up is an MLM. So if you don't support them, I understand. I get it. But this is probably my favorite. I have a Misty and I have this, and I prefer this 100%. Any of the ones that are open, so you can have paper sticking out and stuff, number 1 in my book, let me tell you. So I just stamped using Versamark ink, which is a watermark ink. Now, when you stamp using it on like a colored paper, you could really leave it like this and let it dry. But I went ahead and added some glitter and glitz because hello, it's me. So this is some silver glitter embossing powder. I have no idea where it's from or where I got it. And then this is some iridescent kind of glittery embossing powder. So I really love both of these powders. So this is a heat tool, and you literally just heat the embossing powder until it goes like this. You're going to see it go from very dull to very like shiny. And you'll see later that I missed a spot and I go back in with my heat tool. So if you notice that there's no, like you notice that it's kind of dull in one spot, here I almost burned my fingers off, then you know that it's not completely melted. I hope that makes sense. I don't know why my throat is bothering me. So once I do that, I'm going to go ahead and bring in some dies to cut out Season's Greetings and the Noel. I'm using these little rectangle dies from Pink and Maine. These and the A2 Builder die, I believe is what it's called, from Stamp Anything, are probably my most used dies in my collection. Like, not even kidding. I love the stitched look. Love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. All right, so we're going to start with the big panel. And I thought I wanted this big Merry Christmas across, but then I was like, I want the damask to be the star of the show with this. And here you can see me just kind of play around with layers, etc. And I thought, you know what? Simple is best. Because again, I love damask. Are you guys like me and love damask? Listen, I'm a pattern kind of girl. So anyway, when I mass produce, and I'm kind of mass producing, but not really, I like to score first and then cut. So I've scored these at 5.5, and then I cut them at 4.25. That way I didn't have to score two separate card bases. I could just score one. I'm going to use some Scotch mounting foam to get that down, and then I'm going to add in some jewels, and that's going to be card number 1. But what was I saying? I lost my train of thought. I don't remember. Patterns. Oh my gosh, I love patterns. Argyle, houndstooth, plaid, damask. Like, I just love pattern. And I love, my style at home is very transitional, meaning I love a modern twist on all of the like traditional molding and wainscoting and stuff like that. Absolutely love it. So Annabeth, is it Annabeth or Annabelle? Oh my word. I really need a new brain. Anyway, she sent me these jewels and I thought they were so pretty. Some of them have like a little teardrop, and I thought that would be really pretty and really simple for that card. And so that's what I did. And let's get ready for card number 2. So card number 2, I thought I was going to add some embroidery floss. And I have these two kind of purples, one metallic, one matte. And then I'm going to bring in a silver because I was like, oh, I really want to add some ribbon to one of these. And I ended up not using the embroidery floss. I went with this regular ribbon. Now, this is satin ribbon that I just got off Amazon eons ago. It came in a 3-pack. So, but in here you can see that I saw a little bit of a dull spot and I just hit it with my heat tool real quick. So I'm going to bring in another one of those layers, and this one is cut with a scalloped rectangle die. And here I'm just bringing in other dies to see what I'm like, okay, what am I going to do, Misty? What are we doing? And this is when I got the idea to use this die cut with this, like this little kind of arrangement came to my brain. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I want the stitches to match. So I'm using the exact same die that I used to cut out the wallpaper to cut out the sentiment. And I apologize that this is so bright, but since the paper is white, my white balance is all over the place. So I apologize for that. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and adhere. Oh, I brought in this wallpaper thinking that I would like them together, but they're 2 different color families somewhat and 2 different patterns. And I just thought they were competing. So I ended up not using it for this card, but I do end up using it in a card. So this set will be available on Etsy probably this coming weekend. Update on the kits. They are coming, but they're going to be modified. So they're going to be a little bit different. And we'll talk about that later this week. I can't right now. I am so exhausted. I haven't been able to sleep the last couple of nights. And that's probably why my brain's not working. Plus, I had therapy this morning. Then I had to go see a dermatologist, and she cut off a spot to biopsy. It's been a day, y'all. It's been a day. So, yeah. And this paper was really easy to adhere. And it was also easy to pull up because a couple times, you guys know, I'm crooked as a jaybird. So sometimes I get things a little crooked. Okay, so since these layers are going onto textured layers, I'm using a little bit of a stronger adhesive. The score tape, tear and tape, it's all the same, but it's a little bit stronger than just your average tape runner. Could have used Tombow liquid glue too, but I just prefer this. And I liked the fact that I didn't have glue everywhere because I was worried that I wouldn't be able to get it off this wallpaper. So once I get that here, I'm going to bring in some Scotch mountain foam. I need to buy another row. This one's getting really low. And I keep these little bowls on my desk. I got them at the Dollar Tree eons ago. And I kind of put all my trash in that, and then I end up transferring it. So here's a look at those gems again. The teardrop, none of them are connected like as one piece, but I am cutting them apart to put on this. And I'm putting one teardrop in each corner, and I just think it's so stinking pretty. This wallpaper, like, I'm not putting it up, but it's such a pretty wallpaper, and I love the embossing. I love all the glitter. I think these are gorgeous. And you guys know purple is my favorite color, and if you didn't know, well, now you do. And if you're new here, hi, welcome. I'm not always this scatterbrained, but I am today. So if you're new, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, all of the things. You can find all my other social media, Facebook groups, Etsy, all of that is listed in the description box down below. So most of these cards are portrait style, meaning that I cut them at 4 1/4 and scored them at 5 1/2, but I do have one or two that are the other way, landscape. So I decided this is where I was going to pull in this ribbon. I thought it worked perfectly with this season's greeting. If I thought ahead, I would have used a circle die to make it look more like an ornament, but I still really love how this card turned out. I used washi tape on the back to hold down the ribbon, and then I'm going to bring in some more of that Scotch mounting foam because the ribbon is giving it a little bit of a bump, so we want to raise that up just a tiny bit. You can use any kind of dimensional adhesive that you have. I have some foam sheets you're going to see me use later in the week. So, I mean, really anything will do. Now we're going to bring in the ribbon and I'm going to tie it. Normally I would burn this with a lighter, but my lighter is missing. It's MIA. It's somewhere in the house. I don't know where. And a couple of years ago, I started adding my bows to my cards using score tape, tearing tape, rather than a glue dot. And I just find that they stick better and they stay longer. And I'm just bringing in some of the gems without the teardrops. And that's going to be this card. This one may be my favorite. I love that kind of glittery embossing powder. It's so pretty. I'm sure you can find some on the market. I've had these for a million years. Okay, so I wanted to bring in some texture, and this is the quilted cover plate from Honeybee Stamps. I love this thing because it gives you that really pretty kind of texture without being obnoxious. You could do the same with embossing folders, but to be quite honest, I only have a couple. I had such a hard time trying to get them to go through the Gemini, but now that I'm back with the switch, I may end up trying to invest in some more. Here's my Bucket O glitter paper. I was trying to see if I had a light purple that kind of went, and I didn't. So I went ahead and just brought in a really pretty shiny silver. And initially I was going to bring in gold, but it's like, Misty, these are all kind of light and airy. There's no gold. So I brought in silver instead. But you could have used gold. You could get away with using rose gold with this color. If you missed Friday's video, Friday's video? Yeah. I talked about, how copper really works with jewel tones. I feel like a light silver or a light gold goes better with pastels like this. But at the end of the day, it's really dependent upon you. So here I'm trying to decide on the layout, how I want it to go, how I want it to be. I do want some of this texture. So I'm making sure that I bring a little bit of it in. I'm picking the bigger of the rectangles. So when I adhere the wallpaper down, we have a bit more texture. So we're gonna have texture on that, and we have texture on the background piece. So the silver is the background piece, but you can't really see the texture. It's like not very obvious as it is on the purple, but I love it. This is probably one of my favorites. The Holiday Wishes one is also a favorite. I don't know. I just love all of them, you guys. I say they may be for sale. I may keep these. I may keep these. And as I mentioned before, if you see me make a card and you want one and it sells out, just message me. A lot of times, if I still have these supplies, I'd be happy to make you more. I can make sets for Christmas. If you're interested in that, you can just email me or message me over on my Etsy shop. Again, all of that information is linked down below. There were a couple of spots on this wallpaper. I don't know what they were from, but I was using a sander from Tombow. It's a little paper sander to get it off. So basically it just sands away the paper fibers to get it off. I always burnish the back of the paper, the release paper, when I work with these. So yeah, and we're gonna add a couple more jewels, and I think I think that's just about it. We're just about done. So yeah, I really love how these turned out. You guys will have to let me know what you think in the comments down below. Yay, nay, do you love them? Do you hate them? Do you think I should have used a different color of silver? Is this something that you've thought of, never thought of? I'm trying to be as zero waste as possible and get use out of other items in my collection. So with that, friends, that's it. Thank you so much for joining me today. Here's a bonus card using the other paper. So yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't already, I hope you'll consider subscribing. I am posting a holiday card every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday until Christmas Day. I have a whole backlog. This is year 9. So if you're interested, feel free to check them all out. I hope you have a good day, night, week, wherever you are. I love your faces. I'll see you Wednesday for another video. Bye for now.